And we say good morning to you. We're broadcasting live. We're here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on this Wednesday. Wednesday means Chick-Fil-A, and here we is broadcasting again from Tim's Place. Here again on this Wednesday, November the 15th. Hard to believe the month is at a halfway point of 2017. Our countdown to Christmas down to 39 days from today. How about that? 39 days to Christmas. Hard to believe, but it is. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and so here is the here's the verse to get us started out of the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 4. Proverbs. It must be the Chick-fil-A tea. Proverbs 4, 5 through 9. Never forget my words. Do not depart from my wisdom, for it will protect you and watch over you. My wisdom and understanding will honor you and present you with a crown of splendor. Bing! What I need is what I was missing. So that would be the magical bell. Only thing to get out of the bag, and there you go. And so, here read it for you again. Never forget my words. Do not depart from my wisdom, for it will protect you and watch over you. My wisdom and understanding will honor you and present you with a crown of splendor. Proverbs 4, 5 through 9. And that's the verse of the day to get it going here today. Again, at Chick-fil-A. Check this out. They're on sale and ready to go, and they've been selling a bunch of them. Here it is. The Chick-fil-A calendar for 2018. It's called Steers of Yesteryear. How about that? So, the month of January says the most inspirational cow. February says funniest on the farm. March is the greatest bovine baller. April is the best in bovine prime time. September is the most talented T-bone. July is the highest flying heifer. Anyway, it's called Steers of Yesteryear. And once activated on the back, of course, you get a card that comes with it. There it is. So once activated, this card, you'll be able to access the Chick-fil-A app to redeem the featured monthly calendar offers throughout 2018 at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant, which is here in the Crossings in North Johnson City. Either scan your unique calendar card in the Chick-fil-A One app or present your card when you go into the store. Either one. You go either way. But here it is. It's called Steers of Yesteryear. That's the Chick-fil-A calendar. It's what, $8? $8? $8, and you've been selling a pile of them, haven't you, already? Yeah, Amy says it doesn't been selling a bunch. Steers of Yesteryear, the 20th anniversary of the Chick-fil-A calendar. It's the number one selling calendar in the world. Not even the Sports Illustrated swimsuit will top this one right here. Steers of Yesteryear, the 2018 cow calendar. Again, at your local Chick-fil-A. And so that's where we are today. Tomorrow will be at Champion Chevrolet. And then on Friday, we'll be live at Food City on State of Franklin, North Johnson City. So it's all good, and we're excited to be here today. Again, a little bowl of soup on a cool day like today, or cold day will go down good. Also, the chicken strips or chicken nuggets also will go down very, very good on a day like today at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings here in North Johnson City. But again, the big push is the calendars, and I would not procrastinate. They just have a set allotment, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you are interested in getting a Chick-fil-A calendar or calendars, a lot of folks come in and just buy them by the bulk, 5, 10, 15 at a time for Sunday school teachers, you roll down the list, whatever it is that, or whoever it is that needs a gift for a Chick-fil-A calendar would be the way to go here again for this Christmas season 2017. Of course, next Wednesday is Thanksgiving Eve. Next Thursday, of course, is Thanksgiving. Then we get into the serious Christmas season, although a lot of folks kind of into Christmas season already. But Thanksgiving comes first, and as it should. Carrie's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Miss Carrie. Good. She's waving. Good. They can't see her. She's waving. She's a jewel. And then there's Amy. And then there's Melissa. We got all the greetings. All the reliable ladies are in here. Amanda's in here. And so Megan's here. Danny's here. He's kind of like the rooster among the hens. Danny's here. So all the ladies are here today. Drew's here. And they are working hard as always, getting ready for lunch. Drive-through. It's packed as usual, but they get them through. They don't waste any time here at Chick-fil-A getting them through. All right, we got college football to tell you about. We've got got some college basketball. 2 big games last night in the Champions Classic in Chicago. Again, Duke and Michigan State, Kentucky and Kansas. We'll tell you who won on that. Also had some high school basketball last night, and we also had some local college basketball. Milligan gets a doubleheader sweep over tour at McConnell last night. We'll talk more about that as we work our way through this Wednesday. Again, we will have coming up a little bit later in the show, Steve McCauley from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes will stop by. Steve's got an event coming up December 1st to the 3rd at Doe River Gorge he's going to tell us about. Also, Jeff Birchfield is going to come through. Ivan Sanders was scheduled to come through with Elizabeth and Star, but had a conflict, so he can't make it today. So we'll be here working our way through a Wednesday and giving you the very latest on what's happening in the world of sports here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Show number 635, I believe it is. 635th show. And again, tomorrow, Champion Chevrolet. And then on Friday, we'll be at Food City. And that will be, again, Food City, State of Franklin, right around the corner here in Johnson City. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in and go, see what's going on first in the world of sports. We'll do that next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available, Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Show number 635. Yep, and we dedicate the shows we do every day to the Lord. It's His show. I have my fingers in His belt loops, and we'll go as far as He wants it to go. And we're up to show number 635, and it's all about Him. And he gets the honor and the glory. Let's see what's going on in college football. Alabama, the new number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. Clemson up to number 2. I don't know about that one. Miami and Oklahoma joining the top 4 for the first time. Wisconsin was 5th. Auburn was up to 6th in the rankings released yesterday. Crimson Tide had been behind Georgia in the first 2 selection committee rankings with the Bulldogs, of course, and previously number 3 Notre Dame. Both got beat last weekend, opening up the top 4 for changes. Clemson moved up from 4th, and unbeaten Miami jumped from 7th to 3rd, giving the Atlantic Coast Conference the top 4 teams. Oklahoma moved up 1 spot. Unbeaten Wisconsin moved up from 8th and is the highest-ranked Big Ten team. Auburn, the highest-ranked team with 2 losses. Georgia falls to 7th, and Notre Dame is 8th. So right now, the top 4 are Alabama, Clemson. Nope, don't agree with that one. Miami and Oklahoma. I tell you, I like Wisconsin. I keep going back and looking at this football team, and of course they got a big test this weekend against Michigan. But I like this football team and like them a lot. So they'll be hosting Michigan this week at 12 o'clock in Camp Randall. So we'll see how it goes for them. Michigan 8-2, Wisconsin at 10-0, 5th in the country. But Clemson, yes, good football team. They're in the hunt. I don't know if I'd make them a number 2. I'd give them probably in the top 4, I think. Miami certainly has earned the right to be in the top 4. It's the kind of year they're having. Only the second year for Mark Richt. And Wisconsin 5th and Auburn was 6th. So that's what's going on. Again, one more time, Alabama, Clemson, Miami, and Oklahoma, and the college football playoff rankings out for this week. So that's what's going on there. The highest-ranked conference champ from outside the Power 5 is guaranteed a spot in the New Year's Six Bowls, and right now that would be the highest-ranked conference champion from outside the Power 5 conferences would be the University of Central Florida and Scott Frost, who more than likely will get tapped on the shoulder to leave and head out to maybe Nebraska, maybe Tennessee, maybe Florida, maybe Arkansas. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities to move on. Of course, his home base is Nebraska. A lot of folks feel like it's just kind of a punch the ticket. He's going to go back to Nebraska and replace Mike Riley. But anyway, that's the team that's outside the Power 5, the highest ranked. Again, that is Central Florida, having a big year so far. All right, let's get into who's going to be the new football coach at Tennessee. Well, a lot of folks are saying Chip Kelly. There may be a hitch in the old giddy-up for that one going on. An SEC school president would have to consult with Conference Commissioner Greg Sankey before hiring a coach involved in past NCAA violations. The bylaw amended in 2017 came into question with a report that Florida was vetting former Oregon coach Chip Kelly. Tennessee and other SEC programs that could have head coaching openings, well, they do. Hello. Tennessee's got an interim, Brady Hoke, but they're definitely looking for a permanent coach. Anyway, they may be interested in Chip Kelly, and they are. The current ESPN analyst charged by the NCAA with failure to monitor was handed a show cause penalty back in 2013 while at Oregon. The bylaw doesn't specifically say Sankey would have to approve such a coach. However, SEC bylaw 19.8.1.2 states that in regards to any coaching candidate involved with a past major violation, the hiring SEC president would have to consult directly with the commissioner of the SEC prior to offering employment to that individual. Such a rule certainly applies if Kelly is a candidate for a current SEC opening. So Kelly, apparently from folks close to him, say he's anxious to get back into coaching. Would it be Tennessee? Would it be Florida? Could it be Arkansas? Could it be another school that has not popped open yet? Could it be Nebraska possibly? Sankey did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So, again, back in 2013, Kelly was hit with those failure to monitor charges after it was determined that 7-on-7 coach Willie Lyles had directed players to Oregon in return for compensation, which obviously is a no-no. That 18-month show cause penalty basically meant Kelly could not coach in college until December 26th of 2014. By that time, he'd long been in the NFL. So he was fired by the San Francisco 49ers back in January. So without much NFL interest, he's become a hot name for an opening in college football. So again, if Chip Kelly comes to Tennessee or is offered a job in Tennessee, has to get the blessing of Commissioner Greg Sankey before that can happen. That's interesting. Let's see what else is going on in college football. Top 25 this week. Top-ranked Alabama's got got a checkbook game. They'll be hosting Mercer 5 and 5 at 12 o'clock, getting ready for the Iron Bowl next week against Auburn. Alabama's got a cream puff this week in Mercer. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. 11th ranked TCU goes to Texas Tech. Number 2 Miami, the Hurricanes hosting the Virginia Cavaliers. That could be an interesting ball game. Virginia at 6 and 4, not a bad football team, not a barn burner, but 6 and 4, and has played much better over the last couple of years with the new coach Mendenhall. So Miami, I think they'll win it, but I think it's going to be a tussle. Just saying, UVA is a much improved football team. The marquee game, 19th ranked Michigan 8 and 2, will be at number 5 Wisconsin 10 and 0. That's a 12 o'clock game. Also on Saturday, 6th ranked Auburn hosting the University of Louisiana Monroe. That would be Cy and the boys from Duck Dynasty. That's a 12 o'clock kickoff. 17th ranked Mississippi State goes to Arkansas. 14th ranked Central Florida, again the hottest team outside the Power 5. They're going to be again at Temple. Also you have 18th ranked Memphis hosting SMU. Northwestern and Minnesota. 4th ranked Clemson hosting the Citadel. Also in top 25 football, 7th ranked Georgia, the Dogs hosting Kentucky on 3:30 on Saturday. Other 3:30 games, 9th ranked Notre Dame hosting Navy. That could be interesting. Midshipmen at 6 and 3, Notre Dame at 8 and 2. That Notre Dame should win that, but Navy could give them a little run for the money for a while. 3rd ranked Oklahoma plays at Kansas. That'll be a blowout. 8th ranked Oklahoma State blowing out Illinois on Saturday. 10th ranked Oklahoma State, probably the same against Kansas State. Also in top 25 football, 22nd ranked Michigan State, the Spartans hosting Maryland. 13th ranked Penn State hosting Nebraska. That could be interesting. I think Penn State will win that football game, but I think Nebraska, they're trying to save Mike Riley's job. He's 4 and 6, and boy, not a better quality win than beat Penn State at Penn State. Don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's going to be a decent football game. I think Nebraska's kind of like Iowa. They're waiting for that big game to kind of signature win to put a stamp on their season. It could be this coming Saturday at Penn State. Also, night games, 21st ranked LSU in Knoxville against Tennessee. 25th ranked North Carolina State at Wake Forest. 12th ranked Southern Cal in the Battle of Los Angeles against UCLA. And 16th ranked Washington hosting the Utes of Utah. And that's your top 25 college football schedule for this coming Saturday. The Bucks of East Tennessee State traveling to Chattanooga. This is a dangerous football team. Again, the Buccaneers will go to Finley Stadium with a 4 and 6 overall record, 2 and 5 of the Southern Conference. Chattanooga 2 and 8 and 2 and 5 in league play, which includes a win at Samford 2 weeks ago. The Bucks were beaten 42-7 by Samford, the same Samford team that got beat 29-21 by Chattanooga. So a dangerous football team to be sure. There's my hero, Jeremy Livesey. Hi, Jeremy Livesey. How are you? He just strolls in like John Wayne. I love it. Would you like to come talk for a second? I'd love for you to do it. If you could. Would you like to? That way you eat free. Can't. Oh, well, if you don't have to use that card today, put it back. So let me bring these headsets around. Karen Hubb's going to join us coming up here in just a second as well about the turkey trot. What a pleasant surprise. There we go. And see, it all works out good.
Well, hey, guys.
There's Jeremy Livesey, my man from Movement Mortgage. How you doing, sir?
Fantastic.
Good. Now, have you gone? Not gone. Didn't you go to Charlotte?
I was supposed to. I didn't go.
Didn't go. All
Yeah.
right. So
That game's tonight, though. Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I knew it was either tonight or tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So.
If I'd have done better planning, I would have gone to the Monday night football game and then done tonight's. But
But that's how it goes.
after watching the Monday night football game, it's probably for the best that I didn't go.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So anyway, what's going on with Movement Mortgage? Hopping?
Yeah.
Give me some
Moving.
examples of some of the folks you've helped. Not naming names, of course. What kind of properties are you moving?
We have a lot of people right now. We've got, just this morning, I got 3 new ones. One from Florida moving here, one from the other side of Nashville, I think, and then a couple from Virginia. So
So you have a lot of folks moving in here.
yeah, for whatever reason.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
Well,
They like the mountains.
like the mountains, low crime rate,
Yep.
cost of living,
Yep.
no state income tax,
4 seasons.
4 seasons, goes on and on.
Yeah.
Case in point, it's Friday in the 60s, I think it's going to be in the 40s by Sunday.
Yeah. You
And
get
a little
all,
chance of spitting some snow in the mountains, I think.
yeah, they're going to try to
next
get all
week.
4 seasons in a week. It'll be great. Yeah.
All right, let's talk some sports.
Yeah.
Tennessee football. You are athletic director John Curry. Who would you go after?
Well,
Checkbook is not a problem. Go get who you want to get. Who would you go get?
if
Would it
it
be John
were me, no, it wouldn't be John Gruden.
Would it be Lane Kiffin?
No, I would say
Chip Kelly?
No, we're not built for Chip Kelly.
Interesting. Why not?
I don't think we're. Chip Kelly's built for speed and stamina, and they've not shown either one of those.
What about Dan Mullen?
Mullen, I think, would be great.
I do too.
Jimbo Fisher, I'd be great.
There you go. That's one of my stories.
Fuentes, I'd be great.
Jimbo Fisher, keep an eye on that one because they're not happy at Florida State with Jimbo Fisher.
They're not happy with him, and I think we would be happy with him.
Yeah.
McElwain, I'd take McElwain. He's a good coach.
Jim McElwain?
Yeah.
You would take him?
I would.
I've not heard that one. That's interesting.
I don't think he'll do it, but, I mean...
Les Miles?
No.
Okay. Scott Frost from Central Florida?
Yes.
Okay. You're right along the same page.
Yeah.
I don't think Fuentes will leave.
I don't think so
I think
either.
they'll wave him a little bit more money.
I don't think Jimbo will actually leave either.
I think he may be going somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know I know that Texas A&M's hot and heavy after him.
Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of openings.
Would you hire Kevin Sumlin, the guy from Texas A&M?
I would not.
Okay. Why not?
Because I just don't see it working out.
Danny? John Gruden coming? No. Chip Kelly?
He'll come to a ball game.
No, I think Gruden. I honestly think that's who they got. I think they've had him for a while. They're just playing along.
He was on Mike and Mike this morning and said you never say never.
I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
he is so
He's calculated.
wishy-washy about it and not. I mean, before last time, he was no.
Right.
But this time, I think
You heard it from Danny Birchfield, Chick-Fil-A. Write it down. Gruden's coming.
So Gruden
There
with
you heard
T.
it.
Martin as a offensive coordinator. Is that what he wants?
You heard it first right here. Danny Birchfield from Chick-fil-A. So, interesting that Gruden's already signed, sealed, and delivered. Well, here's my thing.
I don't think that's happening.
If he's going to do it, step up and say he's going to do it. But
Well, they need to do it in the next couple of weeks because the early signing period starts on the 20th.
That's what I keep telling everybody. Plus, these other coaches, I mean, I've got a story here. Which is more attractive if you're a coach? Florida job or Tennessee job?
Florida.
Okay, I would agree with that. Arkansas is going to need a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas or Tennessee? Which is more attractive?
I'd say Tennessee.
I agree. Texas A&M, Tennessee.
Ooh. I'd almost say Texas A&M.
I would too.
Yeah.
At this point right now.
Yeah.
So that's what you're looking at. These big name coaches are going. So Tennessee is in a kind of a hurry up and wait mode. They need to take their time, but they don't need to take their time because there's a lot riding on them.
They don't need to take their time because they need to get it going. But see, Texas A&M doesn't have the tradition, I don't think, so their fan base isn't nearly as hostile as the Tennessee fan base.
There you go.
But Florida, they're out to kill.
And if you get rid of Brett Bielema in Arkansas, which looks like that's going to happen, then that puts him a chance to be a coach.
I see. I said it twice today. Butch Jones will end up in Mississippi somehow.
I was just getting ready to ask you as my next question.
Yeah.
If you were an athletic director, would you hire Butch Jones as your head coach?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on?
I think he built UT. He just plateaued.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're looking at schools like Mississippi, Mississippi State, who aren't used to being successful, this might be a good hire for them as a good stepping stone.
I think Butch Jones did exactly what they wanted him to do. I think if he had taken any further, it's going to be icing on the cake. I think he got in there and brought stability and recruiting, got some names in there, and
whoever takes over has a good talent.
There's a pretty good good foundation. He's done his job. He got a lot of money to ride off in the sunset.
Yes.
And we get a chance to get a new coach. It all works out.
I think it's going to work out for everybody.
There you go. Now, for folks go, who is this man? It's Jeremy Jones.
No, it ain't.
No, it's Jeremy Livesey. You what? You got one more comment? You got one more comment? Y'all fire away.
He's probably right about Taylor. I don't think they can afford Peyton.
Peyton ain't going to do it.
Well, I think Peyton goes to the Browns. He'll take that offense position with the Browns.
He won't coach.
Let me throw one more at you. You ready? Let me throw another one at you. As a defensive coordinator or as a offensive coordinator, in some way, shape, or form, the retired Jason Witten come back and coach at Tennessee in an assistant.
I think
as an assistant in some way, shape, or form. You heard it. You heard it here. So
I'm glad I came.
yeah,
I've learned so much since I got here.
And here is the new calendar. And he's getting ready to have lunch on me because he's my guest.
Look at that.
Years of yesteryear.
Huh.
The #1 selling calendar in the world. Even Sports Illustrated swimsuit. Can't even say it. Sports Illustrated swimsuit does not sell as many calendars as Chick-Fil-A. They have already sold, I think she said 2 boxes. It's only been out a couple of days.
Wow.
So steers of yesterday, they're $8. Got a special every day. I'm not sorry, not every day. Every month. For 2018, there's the different. You can't see those. There's the different themes. There it is.
Wow.
Now, Movement Mortgage. Tell folks what you are all about, my friend.
Oh, just speed and get them closed. So, let's say if you want examples, the last couple of days we've gotten about 8 new contracts in the last 3 days. We'll knock them all out here probably by the end of the day. And we'd just closed one yesterday that we saved from another lender. Took about 2 weeks.
Saved from another lender. What does that mean? That means
the other lender dropped the ball
Yeah.
and just couldn't get it done, so we took it over and got it knocked out, and it was a really easy file. So we got we've done 2 this week actually for that we've rescued, and we got a couple more that we're trying to salvage for other people not doing their job. So
interesting.
that's really the only way I can say it.
Yeah. And I understand.
Yeah.
So you can get folks qualified. Brittany say what? 6 hours?
Yeah, actually they'll underwriting 6 hours turnaround time.
So you can call him up today, like right now, at jeremylivesey.com.
Yep.
I said Jeremy Jones a while ago. jeremylivesey.com.
I wish I was in that.
Yeah.
Wheel and testing.
And you can go there and fill out that app, and within 6 hours you'll have an answer.
Yeah, we took the loan app yesterday, and it'll be sent probably maybe before I get done with this interview. And it'll be sent to underwriting. We'll probably have our conditions probably by the end of the day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
JeremyLivesey.com. Movement Mortgage, one of our great sponsors, going to be there, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving?
I think so.
I think so. We still on target for that to have our big shindig on actually on Wednesday the 29th.
We have a shindig on the 5th.
Yeah, December the 5th.
Grand opening.
The official grand opening. That's good. All right, get yourself something to eat, my friend.
I'll do it.
JeremyLivesey.com. On a personal note, this guy helped me. He'll never know how much he's helped me, and I'm going to take care of him because of it. So he's a good guy, and I appreciate him very, very much. That would be give me some taters. There you go. I'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Good man. Get himself something to eat. Quick break. We'll be right back, and we got, she's here. We're going to talk about the turkey trot. My lady's in the house, Karen Hubbs. Turkey trot next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
It's model year closeout with gym employee pricing and 20% off on 17 models at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. It's a great time to take advantage of closeout savings on our selection of over 300 Chevys to choose from. 17 1500 work truck, 23,995. 17 track, 17,548. 17 cruise, 16,488. 17 spark, 10,950. 17 Malibu, 18,985. Closeout savings, Saturday parts and service hours, and shopping online 24/7 will leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now, some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years, it's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Lewis Sports Show, there she is, our buddy Kieran Hubbs on the turkey trot. Let's get her on the screen more than me. Here's the verse of the day, by the way. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross, and so would you like to read that one more time? I've read it twice, but it bears reading again out of the book of Proverbs.
Never forget my words, do not part from my wisdom, for it will protect you and watch over you. Your wisdom, my wisdom, and understanding will honor you and present you with a crown of splendor.
There you go.
It's awesome.
It is awesome, and that's who runs this show. I can tell you that. So she is here.
That's right.
Good way to segue. Runs this show. How'd you like that? Runs this show. The Turkey Trot next Thursday. The event, Thanksgiving morning here in Johnson City. How many folks you got signed up ready to go now? I know a lot of folks wait to the last minute.
Well, last year we were about 950, 980 last year, 2 weeks out. We ended up with 3748. And so we are actually ahead of pace of last year.
I knew that.
So we're projected to hit 4,000, actually over 4,000. And but you never know. But if the numbers hold true, we'll hit 4,000. But we are about 1,600 now, so it's pretty good, and still what we can have away. And you can register online between now and Sunday at midnight on jcturkeytrot.com, or you can go to the Wellness Center in Johnson City. You can go to Olson's Martial Arts Academy, downtown Johnson City, or the Memorial Park Community Center, which is where our packet pickup will be. All those in Johnson City. You can go in there or go online, fill out a little paper ballot and send it in. But we do need to have those by Monday morning, if not Sunday.
We are subject to change, obviously, this far out. We're a week out, but the forecast for Thanksgiving Day is, as of now, mix of sun and clouds, highs in the upper 40s, lows in the low 30s on Thanksgiving. So let's go back to Wednesday night. Let's see what's going to say Wednesday. Overnight low Wednesday, going to be in the upper 20s. So early Thanksgiving morning, probably going to be in the low 30s.
That's all right.
Yeah.
They'll walk and run and stroll, and truly, this race has become the place to be on Thanksgiving Day for the Tri-Cities Market. And so we're very excited, and you always ask me about our numbers, and I did look it up, and we are the largest one event race in the Tri-Cities. So we're pretty excited.
Crazy Eights, because we're involved in that. They have several different races, special eights and the different, but a single one-horse race, if you will, the Turkey Trots and the Mario Uno.
Yep. Way
to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. And she's very proud of that.
Oh, well, we worked
started
extremely
from
hard.
Zero, right?
Yeah. First year, this will be our 12th year, and when the group decided to put this together, everybody sort of mocked us and made fun. Oh, you won't have anybody show up. It's Thanksgiving. They got to stay home, watch Macy's Parade or whatever. And we had about 750 people show up that very first day, which, if you're a runner in the Tri-Cities Market, that's a big race to start out. I mean, there's a lot of races less than there's a lot of races less than 100 people, to be honest with you. But, a good size race for this town is 300 to 500 people. Even 250 is a good race. But to get, hit 750-ish the first year was a pretty good feat. And then it's just built. And the people behind it, of course, the city of Johnson City, we have tons of city staff members that come out on their day off to help us out. And Up and Adam Inc. is actually the organization that owns it, and that the founding members are Jenny Brock and Jane Myron. And of course, Jane is retired, and she's joined retirement life. But Jenny's still involved. She's the vice mayor, and then Mark Finucane and Charlie Harmon and Alice Sperling. Those four really guide me and guide our staff and what decisions are made and different things. And they've given away over $150,000 to the community since conception. And every year we give $3,500 to the local school, to any school really. It's based off participation. And Fairmont is usually the smaller division, and for the large division, it's a race between Crockett and Science Hill. So Crockett, when we took their check last year, he told us that the money that they received from the turkey trot has been able to afford tennis shoes for the kids and some uniforms that just the county schools don't have the funds for. So it's open to anybody. Of course, a lot of the Johnson City schools are involved, but if you're in Bristol or Kingsport or Carter County or Irwin, if you want to come and get several of your friends to come with you, you might win some money. And the top schools win $1,000, second place $500, and third place $250. And then Up and Adam gave away about $30,000 to the city, to different communities last year. One was ETSU. I'm just talking away.
I like it.
One was ETSU Olympic Training Center, and we support the Run, Jump, and Throw program, which is a 6-week course to teach kids the basics of athleticism. Also, Olympic Day, we were a sponsor of that. The Up and Adam group formed with the Goose Chase, actually formed Turkeys in Training, which is a running clinic that happens on National Running Day. They gave some money to Memorial Park Community Center and the Senior Center to do a technology wall, which is an interactive gaming system, good for all ages, and it just gets you moving. And then last but not least, they sponsored 10 schools for the Morning Mile program, and that's not just Johnson City schools. We got some schools in Carter County, Washington County, and of course Johnson City. And I'm not sure how much of the sponsorship's available, but if your school wants to do it, call Tara Chadwell. She probably won't like me tell everybody. Call Tara Chadwell at the Dicewalker Children's Hospital, and she will hook you up into one of the schools. And with the sponsorship, I believe they get a sound system and they get a whole program to get kids moving before school. And there's studies showing that if we get kids active, or anybody active, your test scores go up, your behavior is better, your nutrition's better. So that's our goal.
Absolutely. City schools in Johnson City, Indian Trail's involved. Town Acres is involved, I believe. Some of the other elementary schools. But it can mushroom outside the city of Johnson City as well. Again, we're talking about the turkey trot. Do you get a personal sense of satisfaction when somebody tells you you can't do something? And when you first started, this is like, nobody's going to come out on Thanksgiving morning. You say, okay, first year, a little slow. Now we're into our 12th year. It's going to be over 4,000. You get personal satisfaction in proving people wrong?
Well, you're an entrepreneur. We both can vouch that we've had a lot of people say, you can't do this. Even, I love my family, but when I left my secure job to take this leap of faith, I had tons of naysayers that say, are you sure? Do you need a part-time job? Do you need to do this, that, and the other? And, perseverance keeps you going, and desire and dreams. And here I'm 4.5 years into it. So,
This is why I like this lady. She's a bulldog. She says, we're going to do it. I got a little thing on my wall in my office. Whenever you want to quit, just think of all the people who want to see you fail.
Yeah.
And it's out there. Because they're just waiting for you to go, well, see, we told you it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Well, she's 4,000 runners. We're 635th show today. So
there's a cartoon that I ran across, and it's someone digging a tunnel to find gold, a pot of gold or something. And he's right there. There's only probably let's say half a foot, I guess, between that and the pot of gold. And he's like, should I keep going or turn back? And every time you get tough, you're like, why am I doing this? I think, well, the pot of gold could be the next, could be the next hour away. You never know. Just keep going.
I heard an example one time. A guy had a ring of keys. And there's the door. And he said he had 3 people lined up and said, okay, it was like 25 or 30 keys. First person went about 4 or 5 keys, said, forget it. Next person, they handed it to them, was 3 of them in this contest. They did about 12, 13, 14 keys. They said, this is ridiculous. It's not on here. The next guy went, and what was funny, because they were color-coded, and the key was red, and the next key, the first 2 people decided, forget it, was red, and had they turned it, because the third guy went through and hit that red key, unbeknownst to him, of course, opened the lock, won the prize, opened the door. But the point was, the other 2 had that red key in their hand for the next one, and they said, nah, and they just gave up. So you never give up.
You never know.
Winston Churchill said, never, never, never quit. So anyway, it is going to be good. Next Thursday morning.
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving morning, next Thursday morning. Website, how can we still get registered?
jcturkeytrot.com. You can go on our social media, and something neat that's going on right now. We are trying to figure out who our Grand Marshal is going to be. It's our 3rd year of this contest. We've asked school kids in the elementary age range to color and write an essay on basically Trotter is the name of our turkey, our mascot turkey. A story about Trotter getting to Johnson City to do the turkey trot. We have chosen 10 kids in the art side and also the written side, and it's on our Facebook page. People can go in there and read them and see what they like, and the winner's going to be based off the likes, shares, and comments of those 20 entries, and 2 special kids will get to be our Grand Marshals for this year's Turkey Trot. They'll get on the stage and be recognized, and they get to ride in the truck with the turkey. With Trotter himself. So it's a big deal, and there's some kids really excited, and some are very competitive. I see parents sharing stuff all the time.
Sure. The parents may be more competitive than kids. There you go. That's good stuff. One more time, the website is
jcturkeytrot.com. Please come out and support us. This is definitely the place to be, and we want this to be a great event for the community. And it's not just a race; it's truly a tradition and a memory had by many people. And I feel like it's our own own Macy's parade. So come out and join us.
It's almost like a homecoming.
It is.
Every year, folks come back. Of course, you have folks from all over the country.
We do.
This is not just a regional event. This is a nationwide event. People come in, right?
I have a girl that helps me, and she was logging in some of the paper registrations yesterday, and she'd say, oh, this one's from Maryland. Oh, my goodness, they're from New York. Oh, they're from New England. They're from California. So we really have them coming in, but we know they're not coming in just for our race, that they are coming to visit their family. But when they're here in Johnson City, we want them to join us for that morning.
And the starting point is?
It is the corner of State of Franklin and Legion Street, down by City Hall and the old post office, Cardinal Park area. We start on State of Franklin and we finish inside Cardinal Park, and that's when the real party starts. And we got some fun things planned. I don't think they want to miss it.
There you go. One more time, the website is
jcturkeytrot.com.
There you go. Thank you, dude.
Thank you.
Awesome. Get you some lunch. You hungry? Always hungry.
There you go.
She's like me. We always like to get some good Chick-Fil-A. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-Fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, One call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live here at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City. Don't forget, the #1 calendar in the world's on sale. It's for 2018, the Steers of Yesteryear. The 2018 Chick-fil-A 20th Anniversary Cow Calendar. They've got specials every month. You can't see them very close, but let's see. Get up here and show some of them, I guess. There's the card you have. You can either go online to get it or just take this card and present it every time you eat. So it's the Steers of Yesteryear. There you go. The 2018 Cow Calendar at Chick-fil-A. They're $8 a piece, and they are flying out of here, I can tell you that. In fact, there's been some bot system been on the air here this morning. Take a look at the National Basketball Association NBA from last night. The Celtics were in their 13th straight. Last night they beat Brooklyn, so the Celtics are red hot with Kyrie Irving. So his move to from the Cavaliers to the Celtics proved to be very good for Boston, not so good for Cleveland. They still are kind of struggling right now. Toronto, the Raptors beat Houston, and the Spurs, 6 better than the Mavericks last night. Greg Popovich, the fastest NBA coach to 500 wins on the road. And so this guy could go down as one of the all-time great coaches. In fact, he will in the NBA. Games tonight in the National Basketball Association. San Antonio, the Spurs will be in Minnesota. Utah in New York to battle the Knicks. Miami hosting Washington. The Hawks home to Sacramento. Milwaukee home to Detroit. Toronto goes to New Orleans tonight. Chicago, the Bulls, and Oklahoma City. As we said, San Antonio at Minnesota. Indiana, the Pacers in Memphis. Memphis, baby, to battle the Grizzlies. Cleveland, the Cavaliers, talking about Cleveland and kind of a not-so-hot start for the Cavs. They're in Charlotte tonight to battle the Hornets. Orlando, Portland, and Philadelphia in L.A. to battle the Lakers. And that's your NBA for tonight across the National Basketball Association. On the ice, the National Hockey League last night, your winners, Vancouver, the Penguins, the Panthers, Columbus, Winnipeg, Minnesota, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Predators improved to 10-5-2. They escaped past the Washington Capitals last night in Nashville. Final there was 6-3. Tonight on the ice, a light night, only 3. Calgary skates in Detroit against the Red Wings, the Rangers in Chicago against the Blackhawks, and it'll be the Boston Bruins on the ice on the left coast against Anaheim and the Ducks for the National Hockey League. All right, let's go back and revisit the Butch Jones scenario. You have several coaching changes out there already. The coaching carousel has begun. Florida, the most attractive position available right now between Tennessee and Florida. I don't think there's any question. Probably the best job open the entire cycle. You got to wonder, did John Curry kind of drag his feet on this thing to let Butch Jones go to begin with? because he wasn't sure he wanted to conduct a coaching search at the same time as Florida. Not only are you competing with a school within your own division, but one that's more attractive right now to most of your top candidates. So let's look at some other jobs. Tennessee versus Texas A&M. More than likely, Kevin Sumlin's gone. If Texas A&M comes open, is Tennessee the better job? I would say no. Both schools have rabid fan bases, expectations neither program can ever seem to meet. While Texas A&M is in the West, must deal with Alabama every season, Tennessee has to play Alabama too. Texas A&M gets to recruit in Texas, while Tennessee does not or hasn't much. There are plenty of good recruits in Tennessee, but the state doesn't have the same volume as other states in the Southeastern Conference. I give check mark to Texas A&M on that one. If Arkansas were to come open, I think Tennessee can claim to be the better job there. I would agree. I'd say the same about Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I would agree. If Tennessee has to compete against Ole Miss or Mississippi State for a coaching position, I would think Tennessee would be the better job. What about Nebraska? There you go in the Big Ten. Is Nebraska a better job than Tennessee? If you're Scott Frost and Florida passes on you, again, as we told you earlier, the University of Central Florida is the highest ranked team outside the Power 5 right now in the college football playoff. So if you're Scott Frost and Florida passes on you, you might be more attracted to the Nebraska job than Tennessee, regardless of where you went to school. So the question is Tennessee a better opening right now than Nebraska? That's a tough one. I would say pretty much neck and neck, because the SEC and the Big Ten. Florida will be a hot name. Frost will be a hot name. Florida, Nebraska hold far more appeal to him. Tennessee would be third on his wish list, I would think, and I would agree with that. What about a scenario where Dan Mullen ends up at Tennessee if he doesn't go to Florida? What about, I'm thinking if John Gruden doesn't take this job, Dan Mullen's your next best for me, or Chip Kelly, but we've already told you earlier that in order for anybody to hire Chip Kelly in the Southeastern Conference, they've got to get approval from Greg Sankey, because he left on bad terms in Oregon and got in trouble with the NCAA. So there's an extra little hitch in that one, but I guess it's a hitch or a hurdle you can certainly clear, but that is going to come along with Chip Kelly wherever he applies in particular. Well, not just in the Southeastern Conference, in any D1 school, that will come along with him, and he'll have to get the blessing of the commissioner of that particular conference, the school in which he's going to get hired to get their approval. So that could be an interesting little added twist to that. TCU's Gary Patterson, Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy mentioned as possibilities. I don't see those happening. So, excuse me. Both coaches can one day leave their jobs if they have a better chance of winning a national title elsewhere, but I don't think Tennessee offers that to either one of those. So if you're Gary Patterson at TCU, if you're Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, I don't think Tennessee's a step up. That's just me. So at this point, if Tennessee doesn't get Dan Mullen or John Gruden, everybody keeps saying he's coming, but why would he not come out and say, here's the thing, he's not bound by the NCAA. The other coaches that are currently coaching they can't just jump out there and say, yeah, I'm coming. They're still in the midst of their current season. John Gruden's not. He can make the call and say, yes, I'm coming, but he hasn't yet. Supposedly last weekend he's supposed to sit down with his family and make the decision whether he'd even want to entertain going back into coaching. I don't know why he would, because the guy's making bukus of money, being a commentator, a quote-unquote expert. I mean, the guy makes a very, very good income, to say the least. There's been rumors that ESPN's going to cut him. I know Monday Night Football is going away from ESPN. So that may, Monday Night Football may be going away, so Gruden may not have a job, I guess what I was wanting to say. So that may play into it, but for him to leave the broadcast booth and the cushy job versus the recruiting and the constant fan base analyzation, no matter where you go, I don't see him doing it. So, and some folks say, well, he's a competitor and he's a coach. And well, if he's a competitor, as a coach, he wouldn't have left and went in the broadcast booth to begin with. That's the way I look at it. So, anyway, I don't see Gruden, but I could be wrong. But I don't see Gary Patterson. I don't see Mike Gundy. Again, if you don't get Dan Mullen, then you're looking at a Mike Norvell, or I've heard it pronounced Norvell or Norville at Memphis, Chad Morris, SMU, Mike Bobo, Colorado State. Of course, Bobo has ties to Georgia. He was a quarterback there. So do you hire a Georgia guy to be a coach at Tennessee? I don't know. So Tennessee's in a quandary, no question. They're in a hurry up and wait mode. They got to get a coach to beat these other folks. They want to make the right fit. I was reading this headline here at the Johnson City Press today. The Vols' fourth coach since Philip Fulmer left in 2008. So Phil may be saying, well, how you missing me now? Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, now Butch Jones. They could not rejuvenate a program that hasn't won a division since 2007. You realize it's been 10 years since they won the division? Haven't captured a conference title since 1998. So this is a program that is hungry for success, and they got to make the right fit and the right hire and do it quickly, but do it right. It's like a catch-22, but we'll see. And again, everything continues to point to John Gruden. I don't see it. So anyway, that's what's going on there as far as college football. Let's see what else is going on. Let's got some other things. Let's talk about some college basketball here as we're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Wasn't pretty, but it was easy to watch this thing last night. It was a good ball game. Kansas gets a 65-61 victory against Kentucky last night in the nightcap of the Champions Classic. Jayhawks now 2-0, Kentucky 2-1. Kentucky will host East Tennessee State coming up next for the Wildcats. And so it is a young basketball team for John Calipari, no question. First game, billed as a rare number 1 versus number 2, Duke and Michigan State. And so the Blue Devils did it again. They get a big win. Krzyzewski now at 11-1 lifetime against Hall of Fame coach Tom Izzo for Michigan State. Duke now 3-0, and Mike Krzyzewski head-to-head against Tom Izzo, 11-1. This guy owns him. And so big win last night for the Dukies as they get a big W. Grayson Allen had a career night, 37 points, 88-81 victory against Michigan State. Grayson Allen, career high, 37, as the Blue Devils go 3-0. Michigan State, again, losing last night, as we said, 88-81, and Kansas beat Kentucky in the Champions Classic. Tyler Harrow, remember this kid's name, becomes the third commitment for John Calipari for Kentucky. He decommitted from Wisconsin, made one trip to Lexington, said I'm in, and so Tyler Harrow at 6'5" is now a official visit in Kentucky this past weekend. Only trip he took following his decommitment from Wisconsin. He's in, the third commitment in the 2018 class. The rich just keep getting richer, joining 5-star recruits Emmanuel Quickley and Keldon Johnson as future Wildcats. So Kentucky picks up yet another big-time pick, and this kid is Tyler Harrow, Herro. And again, this young man's from, where did I read it? Was from Chicago? Let me think here. Milwaukee. I'm sorry, he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So Tyler Harrow, the latest commitment for John Calipari and the Kentucky Wildcat basketball team going forward, coming up here in 2018-19 as the incoming recruiting class for next year. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live again at Chick-fil-A. Here it is. One more time, the number 1 calendar in the world, even surpassing Sports Illustrated. Check that out. The Steers of yesteryear. Nobody sells more calendars than Chick-fil-A. Oh, it's always been true. Oh, yeah. I'm not making it up. It's the number 1 sells more in the swimsuit calendar. Well, I mean, look at this versus swimsuit. Which would you get? You'd get with this, wouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely. Melissa's like, what is wrong with him? I love Melissa. She's a piece of work. Anyways, Steers of yesteryear. $8 calendar. Flying out of here. Limited supply, to say the least. Connie's eyes got big as yes. They're coming in buying them in bulk, too, aren't they? 4, 5, 6, 7 at a time. For an $8, this goes great for a school teacher, Sunday school teacher, co-worker, somebody on Christmas morning as a stocking stuffer. The Steers of yesteryear. Again, with on the back is the card comes with it, so you get that those offers every month. Next year, the 20th anniversary of the Steers of yesteryear. Have you ever met the marketing people that come up with this? Some of them. It's incredible. The themes they come up with, very, very creative. So, yep. So limited supply. Steers of yesteryear. Thanksgiving Day closed. Regular hours till 10 o'clock on Wednesday night. Yeah, that's what I thought. Closed on Thanksgiving Day. Back open on, of course, Black Friday, and closing regular hours 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So if you're wanting to come and get some great Chick-fil-A food, Don't come on Thursday. Connie will be home cooking that turkey. You doing turkey or ham? Both. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, doing both. By the way, it was kind of a sad story this morning. I got up and I saw where I've eaten there all lots and lots of times out of Unicoi. Clarence's Drive-In, one of those, gosh, I don't know, Hallmark places. One of those eating establishments, been around for many, many years. Clarence's Drive-In burned down last night in Unicoi, so tough stuff. And has nothing to do with sports, but it's one of those eateries that it was a throwback to the old nostalgic drive-in eatery in Unicoi, Tennessee. Clarence's Drive-In burned to the ground last night. That's tough scenario. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll come back in, and my man's in the house. Steve McCauley joins us next from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 635. We'll be back right after you hear this.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns. Scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with a jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back with the Tom Lewis Sport. Look at that handsome rascal. Look at him. Miss McCauley, she outpunted her coverage. Look at that right there. He is a handsome devil right there. Steve McCauley from the Philip. That's not a good thing to say, FCA. Handsome devil.
Yeah, it is. That's all right.
That's not
devil
good.
with a little D.
He's a handsome feller. What a way to start. Steve McCauley, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I was just trying to keep up with Connie on the technology here.
I can't keep up with her. I just get out of the way and let her do her
just tried
thing.
to post what we're going to talk about on your page, so hopefully it worked. If not, they can just go. Look, somebody's calling already.
Who or where were you this morning?
This morning I was at Indian Trail at 7:10. They had Dr. Josh Wandell there. They had almost half the school out for their FCA. They have a bi-monthly, I guess, every 2 weeks, whatever term that is. Every other week they have an FCA in their gym, and they have intramural sports there, so they just tie it in with intramurals. It's before school, so it's not during instructional time. It's awesome. It's a great time. So they had Dr. Josh Wandell, who most people know in our area. For those watching and listening outside our area, he has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. He was diagnosed about 4 years ago. Stud of an athlete. He was a principal, doctor of education, and a principal in our local school system in Elizabethton, where I live. Played football at UT, Elizabethton High School. Went to UT and played. Great athlete, great man, runner, avid runner. And just about 4 years ago, he started having a drop in his foot as he was running, and he went different specialists, and it took several months to diagnose him, but they finally came up with a diagnosis of ALS. So they, instead of just going and crying about it and getting in a cave about it, he put it to good use, and they have signs all over creation around here that say faith over fear. Team Wandell. They run every race there is. He's probably going to be in the turkey trot that Karen was talking about. They run every race. He beats. He's got this team that runs with him. He speaks to groups all over the region, probably as far as he can travel. He's got a van. He doesn't even speak anymore. Every muscle in his body doesn't work except his eyes. He can move his eyes, and his eyes read a computer, and it speaks through a machine. And that's how he spoke to 400, 500 kids this morning, shared the gospel, shared scripture, prayed with them. And he told the kids, he goes, "Don't feel sorry for me." He said, "I'm doing God's work." I mean, it's amazing. The guy is such an inspiration. He's a father. He's a husband. He's just a great leader in the community, a great man of God. And God chose him to go through this adversity to reach others for Christ. And he knows that. He knows that's his calling in life. And his reward, talk about reward and eternal reward. Man, he could have lived to be 100 years old and had no worries in this life. And God's given him affliction, allowed him to have affliction for the last, allowed him to bear that. However you look at that theologically, whether God caused it or allowed it, but he's bearing this up for God's glory. He's not bearing it up for, feel sorry for me and woe is me. And so that's a great inspiration to people. And I know people go through there's people listening that go through terrible afflictions. And if you can turn that around and bear it for an eternal, look at it, the eternity of it, the eternal reward, and reach someone else that might be hurting, and say, God's got a plan even in this. Even in this, God's got a plan. And if you can turn it around like that, wow, talk about the joy of the Lord. That's where the joy comes from, the inside out. Like I said, Josh could have lived to be 100 years old and had millions of dollars, and I bet you he wouldn't have traded that for what the so-called hand he's been dealt in life, because when he gets to heaven and God shows him all that he did through his affliction, I'll tell you what, it makes that the verses he shared Philippians 4:13, I can do all things to Christ who strengthens me. Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Your God will never leave you. I mean, he's always with you. And he shared those with the kids. And this is a guy that's dying. I mean, we're all dying, but he knows when he's going to die within, a few years or whatever. And my son Daniel, my youngest 13-year, he's 13 now. He went to an FCA rally 4 years ago, where after Josh was about a year after he was diagnosed, 3.5 years ago, and he shared the gospel there. And my son was one of the ones that responded to the gospel that night at 9 years old. And so it's a special ministry to me personally, because my own son trusted Christ through the ministry of Dr. Josh Wandell, through his his battle with ALS. So it's called
Powerful.
Team Wandell. It's on our Facebook page. If you go to FCA Tri-Cities, you can find our Facebook page or our website and find them and support them. It's a great work that they're doing through that affliction. So
Very powerful. Coming up, bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by Jeff Birchfield talking NASCAR. It's the championship weekend in Homestead, Florida. He'll join us coming up here in a little while. Connie Larimer is in the house. Did you know she was in a homecoming
you can
court?
yeah, I can tell just by looking at her.
Just look at her, yeah.
Yeah. Is there film in there?
Yeah.
That's what. And you need a new flash bulb.
That 24-hour developing, can we get that done
You know,
quick?
she sings.
She does sing?
She sings at church.
She sings at church.
Yeah,
she's
got
homecoming court.
She's got a beautiful voice.
There you go.
Thank you.
And she's embarrassed.
And
that's
she's a
okay.
great chicken lady.
There she was. She's chicken queen. She's in the homecoming court at Unicoi County High School, and we're not going to say the year, but the guy that, hey, you know who did it? You know who's her escort? Ben McNabb.
The furniture guy.
One of the coolest guys.
You know, I was a furniture guy in my old life before I got saved.
Yeah. One of the coolest guys you'd ever want to meet, Ben McNabb. Laughs, giggles all the time.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
So how'd it feel to be crowned Miss Blue Devil? Oh, in our world you were. So we think you were. All right, you got some coming up early December at Doe River Gorge. What's going on?
I'm helping a friend of mine who's a supporter of FCA. It's Steve Weissong. He owns Weissong Enterprises, which is a helicopter outfit up here by the airport. They do all the medical and police and TV helicopters and stuff. It's amazing business. But he's got a real passion for men's ministry and men's retreats, and it's changed his life and his son's life. His son passed away of a brain tumor about a year and a half ago, and Rodney was only 35 years old. And Steve knew the value of retreats and getting time away and spending time, because his time was limited with his son, and they spent a lot of time together. So Steve's helping to sponsor this retreat in Doe River in partnership with Doe River Gorge. It's a men in the marketplace, which includes all of us. I mean, I'm in ministry, but I have to go out and talk to business people and raise money and do stuff like that. So men in the marketplace, which is all of us. How do we do that with Christ at the center? And that's really the theme of it. It's Romans 5. It's the character that produces the hope and produces the hope of Christ in your life. And so that's the theme of it. It's December 1st through the 3rd. It's a Friday night. It starts Friday at dinner. The food is phenomenal up there. It'll make a bulldog break its chain. I mean, like you say, I learned that one from you. But it's going to start with dinner on Friday, December 1st. Start with dinner, and it's guaranteed you can get all your Christmas shopping done on Sunday when you leave Doe River Gorge, because your wife or your significant other will know that you've been away for the weekend at a men's retreat, and they want you to come back changed, right? And well, they probably won't expect you till around dinner time on Sunday. Well, you will be done around noon on Sunday, so you've got all Sunday afternoon to get your Christmas shopping done. No brainer. So you come home a better man. You come home with all your Christmas shopping. You don't have to wait till December 24th. It's just a win-win for everybody. But no, seriously,
he works all the animals. I'm telling you.
But seriously, it's going to be a great time. Great food, great fellowship, great encouragement. We're going to have some breakout sessions. We'll have four main talks during the weekend, sessions, so to speak, where people can get take notes, get in the Word, but also have some time with each other. That I think of that verse in Proverbs where it says, "Iron sharpens iron," and we can get with each other around our tables of fellowship. And then there's going to be a lot of nice free time and some cool activities. If you've never been to Doe River Gorge, they've got a Unimog there that I think it seats about 16, 20 people. It's like a military beefed up, unbelievable. It's like a Humvee on steroids, and they take that thing. You're strapped in it. I mean, they put 16 people in the back of it, and it's not 4-wheel drive. It's an 8-wheel drive, and they go up mountains, over rocks, over the river. I mean, it's amazing. It's a fun ride, and I'm sure they'll do that. They've got the train, the East Tennessee, Western North Carolina Tweetsee Railroad goes right through there. It's a 140-year-old railroad, and it's a narrow gauge, and They actually have a locomotive in it, and so I'm sure they'll have some kind of a train ride there for guys that come out. It'll just be a fun weekend. Great time of, rest, renewal, communion with the Lord, and communion with other men who are, like we say at church, struggling well. That's what this life is. It's you either struggle well with the Lord or you struggle not well without Him. And so that's what it comes down to. That's what we're all about. So I put a link on your whatever this is called, Facebook. I put a little link on your promotion, so if or somebody can look us up, they can get in touch with me through your Facebook, Steve McCauley or FCA Tri-Cities. Get in touch with me because I'll put you in touch with Doe River. It's $179 for this retreat. That includes food and everything. You bring a sleeping bag, a pillow, toothbrush. We recommend that. Deodorant. And deodorant. Earplugs. But somebody said also nose plugs, if you got them. But no, it's not that bad. It's good. But yeah, and if you've got one of those CPAP machines, it's even better, So last retreat I went on, like 4 out of the 5 guys in the room had those. I was the only one without one of those. So it was like, it was great. It was like music in the room there. And those things work, and they're all like, hey man, you need to get one of these. These are the latest. These things are great. So, and they all slept like babies, and there was no snoring. So that's felt like I was sleeping at a CPAP factory. But but it's a great time, and I highly recommend it. I've been to other retreats there. There's actually a retreat that they've done in the past there called Solely Business. That's a great retreat, and hopefully it'll be coming back to Doe River in the future. It's a great time, and Doe River Gorge is a great facility. It just reaches people of all ages for God's work, and so we're just blessed to be able to use the facility out there for this weekend and reach people. So I hope you can come. You can get out there. Football season's over. Of course, basketball will be rolling, but I don't know if you've got some time. I'll sponsor you. How's that?
We're doing the Cyclones now. Some basketball.
Yeah.
Cyclone basketball.
Good.
Steve McCauley, Andy Dietrich. That's it. Andy, Steve, Susan Bishop, Jonathan Chapman from the BCM, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Some of the folks watching. We want to say hello to Beth. Watches every day down in Georgetown, South Carolina. All the kids back up in West Virginia watching the show. We got a lot of them up there. We appreciate that. And folks here in the Tri-Cities as well. All right, wrapping up our visit here. Look in that camera. Next Thursday will be Thanksgiving, but every day is a day of thanks. So look in that camera and tell folks why we should be thankful and how we should be thankful here in Thanksgiving season 2017.
Wow, there's so much. I would say spiritually, because that's the most important thing. Spiritually, we need to be thankful that God looked down at humanity that was separated from Him by sin and said, "I'm gonna make a way to redeem you and have you come back to me, to be reconciled to me," and that's through Jesus Christ. He's the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Him. That may sound narrow-minded, bigoted, It's true. There's one way to do a lot of things, Tom. There's one way to split an atom. There's one way to send a space shuttle up in space. There's one way to do a lot of things. Why can't there be one way to be reconciled to God? So, every other so-called religion is of the enemy to lead people astray. And Christianity is the way, the truth, Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. It's not even the system of Christianity. Or if someone's out there and they go, well, I don't believe in organized religion. It's not about religion. It's not about the Christianity. We're just called Christians, and Christianity is called Christians because Christ is our God, our Redeemer, our Savior. But He is the way, the truth, and the life. And He hung on. You say you dedicate this show to the man who hung on the cross, and yeah, he was the God-man, Emmanuel, God with us. God gave His only begotten Son. And John 3:16, it's probably the most quoted verse. I heard an old football guy say, spoke around. He said every inmate on death row knows John 3:16, and but do they believe it? It's something up here to know it, to know the gospel, but to, a lot of people get lost right here. between the head and the heart. And you got to know the heart knowledge is trusting, believing, having a personal relationship with Christ. Does that mean you got to clean your life up and do everything perfect? No, God will work on you. That's called sanctification. God will work on you, and with you and I, it's a lifelong process, But I thank God that I'm closer to Him today than I was yesterday, and I'll be closer to Him tomorrow by His grace than I am today. So that's spiritually. Physically, I thank Him for my health. I thank you, Lord, for my health. I thank you for my ministry, that I can come and do stuff like this and go to schools. Like I went to Indian Trail today in Providence today, and I get to promote this men's retreat. I get to promote other FCA events. I get to go to different sporting events and encourage people in the Lord. It's just great to have health to do that, because not many people are fortunate enough to have good health, and so we don't need to take that for granted, and that we live in this great country that we're free to sit here and talk about the Lord and no fear of being arrested. And I look over there and I see the shoe boxes, that we live in the land of plenty, and people want to give, and I think of that verse that says it's more blessed to give than receive, and that's so true. So I think of that shoebox thing. In fact, December 1st, the day of the retreat, I'm going with a group from a local church down to the Samaritan's Purse in Boone to do the Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. So we are going to be stuffing those shoeboxes. And what they do is they send these here to this processing center in Boone. It's fascinating. I went last year. So these hundreds of thousands of shoeboxes, it's crazy. They come in, and we have to, obviously someone has to go through them to make sure they're safe, and the things aren't. And there's some things that people mean well, but they're called inappropriate items. They can't have liquid. You can't have certain things. You can't have certain things in there. So we're part of the team. There's this big, if you've never been there, there's a big, huge work table, and you're in the processing center. Conveyor belts. It's amazing. It's like Santa's workshop. It's crazy. And they do things first class. They're like Chick-Fil-A. They do things first class. Samaritan's Purse. Well, you're in this with about 12 other people around this table, and you're opening these, and you have to pack them, girl, boy, by age, and says on the box, and you put them in these big boxes, and I can't remember how many went in the big box. Probably about 18 or 20 of them went in a big box, and that's the fun part, is seeing how many you can get in there with the lid to be, because they go on a truck, and the truck goes on a container, and the container goes to Africa or India or China, all over the world. And so and they have how the national debt has that clock, which is awful. Well, they have that, how many boxes are being shipped out. They have a thing up there telling how many boxes have gone out, and it's just neat. And everything they do is centered around the Lord. And Franklin Graham, he just does a great job. And
that started out in the beginning, like we were talking with Karen Hubbs before you got here, that the turkey trot the first year, everybody said it never worked on Thanksgiving morning, turkey trot. And the first year it was a little slim. Next Thursday they're looking over 4,000 runners in Johnson City. My show, they make work on number 635. And so at some point, when Franklin Graham started Operation Shoeboxes, sending boxes of stuff like toys for kids around the world, it'll never work.
Yeah.
It's into the millions of boxes
now.
Yeah.
And two of the guys that I've worked with in FCA that came through the local FCAs here over in Tusculum College, they were little boys in Uganda or Ethiopia or somewhere back, 20 years ago, and they were 5, 6, 7-year-old boys that got a shoebox. And I remember one of them told me, now he works for them. He's over, and when I go over there, I'll look him up. He was there last year. He came out of the office and said hello to me, and he remembers getting that shoebox, and he said they were in an orphanage, and they had to sit there and hold their shoebox, a little kid, and they all opened them all at once. So if you were early on in the line, that would have been torture for a little kid. He had to sit there and hold his shoebox, and they made him do that, and then they all opened their shoeboxes all at once. But he became a believer through that experience of getting a shoebox and communicating with he got a Bible in there and some really cool toys and things and toothpaste and whatever else they give them. They get a toothbrush and stuff that they've probably never seen or used, and changed his life. They changed the life through a material gift, just like Jesus did. Jesus fed the 4,000 and the 5,000. He fed people, and he met their physical needs, and then he met their spiritual needs. So that's what we like to do. So turkey trot, you talked about that. I'm going to be praying. Karen asked me to come and pray at that. So So yeah, I'm gonna. And by the way, you said the word slim and Thanksgiving. Those two words, that's an oxymoron. They don't go together, do they? Slim and Thanksgiving? No.
Website one more time, Bubba.
Mine, FCATricities.org. Yeah, and FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and if you have trouble spelling that, it's FCA. Yeah. Okay? So thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
As always, quick break. We'll be right back. We'll talk NASCAR. Jeff Birchfield next here on the Tom Evans Sports Show live at Chick-Fil-A.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Do you need an event catered? At Phil's Dream Pit, we cater for gatherings over 50 people. Weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, company picnics, sporting banquets, to name a few. We can set up, clean up, and of course serve. We also offer value packs that include all the food. You pick that up and serve it yourself. Check out our webpage at philsdreampit.com. That's philsdreampit.com. Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit on I-26, open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we're a phone call away at 423-349-6437, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Yeah, I think you're going to move a lot of those.
All right, here we go. That's a good way to start this thing, Jeff.
The hijinks have started.
He's got all kinds of articles today in the Johnson City Press. Here's one that's talking about Matt Kenseth. You see him, paper picture versus live picture. Kenseth deserves a moment in Phoenix. He also is talking about the Johnson City Wall of Fame inductees grow to 4, which is cool. So this gentleman is faced interviewing a gentleman, Adam Townsend, is that correct?
Yeah, Adam Townsend, the MMA fighter from Hamptons fighting overseas, so he's telling me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's all good. And so we are here live again Kenny. So tell us what's going on again with. Let's start with NASCAR, Matt Kenseth.
Well, Matt Kenseth, he's not gotten a ride for next year. I mean, he's had some offers, but, he wants to be in a competitive car. He's been driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, so he really doesn't want to take a step back. So, he was talking Sunday's race after it, how, he's fine with it now that, what a way to go out on top and with a big win like he had. A great drive. I think Matt's been one of the most underrated drivers ever in the sport if you really look at his record.
And so, he didn't get the fair shake he should have gotten, the way I think. I mean, a lot of these guys got a farewell tour. He didn't get that.
No, he didn't. But, you've met Matt, and he's a little more low-key than maybe Junior or Jeff Gordon or Tony Stewart, so I think he's fine with it, I mean, he's been a guy sort of let his performance on the track speak for itself, One thing sometimes was frustrating interviewing Matt is, you'd be talking to him with the recorder not on, and he's one of the funniest guys, he's got a real dry sense of humor, and, then the TV camera will come on, or you'll turn your recorder on to interview him for the newspaper, and he goes to that, mode where he doesn't want to say anything to offend anyone. He's a lot like Jimmy Johnson in that regard. They're a lot similar personality-wise.
Yeah, you can see when the lights come on the cameras and they flip the switch, he goes from just Matt Kenseth talking to you and I to corporate Matt Kenseth saying the right stuff, right?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and we've talked before with the sport with Jimmy Johnson, that's sort of the same way with him, I think if those guys would actually let their personalities show through, they might get in trouble on occasion, but, it'd probably be better for the sport, and they'd probably have more fans, honestly.
Talking to our buddy Jeff Birchfield of the Johnson City Press. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City, and let's go to the Final Four. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski. What do you think?
Well, I mean, Martin Truex Jr. obviously has to be the favorite with the way that 78 teams run the last couple of seasons, but for my money, if it's a one-race playoff, I'm going to probably go with Kyle Busch. I think he's hard to beat in a one-race deal like that, but I mean, they're four very aggressive drivers. You think of Keselowski and Harvick too, none of those guys mind to put the bumper to you.
They'll bump you pretty good. So what's your take on the Hamlin Chase Elliott in Phoenix last week?
Well, I mean, it was payback for Martinsville and all, and Denny, I think it was I didn't get upset with him at Martinsville like a lot of people did. Yeah, it was a dirty move and all, but, I mean, I think it's good for the sport. I mean, the short track racing is, that's so much more exciting than these mile and a half for the most part.
All right, if you're Chase Elliott, you've been at this a long time, even though he's a young guy. He's been racing since a young age. Will you expect a short track racing like at Martinsville that's going to happen between the dust up between him and Denny Hamlin?
I think it did. I think where Denny crossed the line there, though, like some of the TV announcers said, there's a difference between the bump and run and just moving someone and flat out wrecking them. And Denny never backed off. Once he saw he's out of control, he just kept on pushing. And that's where I think, most people took exception to that.
So we were talking over the weekend about coming up to championship Sunday rather. Only sport I know of where the Final Four is going to be out there with everybody else. So is there a law of the jungle coming out of the garages that if my teammates up here trying to win this championship, and you're in my way, is there a little good old boy unspoken rules that we kind of move people out of the way?
I would hope there wouldn't be really with the championship race. I would hope that teammates really wouldn't get involved and they'd leave it up to the four guys to decide between themselves and all. But with the four guys racing, I could definitely see Harvick and Harvick and Keselowski, or Keselowski, Busch, Harvick, Busch, all those guys have history. Really, the only guy doesn't have that much history with them, is Martin Truex Jr. But, I'm sure if any of those guys come down the last lap and they'd have a shot of bumping them out of the way, they'd probably take it.
What about running a race, again, running the regular race at Homestead, and then just bring the four guys back out there and let them run a 100 lap or a 50 lap or whatever by themselves to decide it. Nobody else around, Final Four. You're on the track by yourself to decide this. Would you like that going forward or not?
I don't like it. I mean, I've liked match races before, like at the short tracks, they'll bring in a big name driver. Like, for example, I think a few years ago at Kingsport Speedway, they had like a 10-lap match race with like local legend John A. Utzman. This was when Ken Schrader, I think, was still racing in NASCAR. They had those guys just go head-to-head. And match races are fun, a deal like that, but I don't think like a 50-lapper between four guys would be that great to watch.
shot that out of the sky. Okay. Let's talk Xfinity Series. Again, we're talking Jeff Birchfield. Let's talk Xfinity Series.
Well, I've said all along, I sort of think the favorite's William Byron. You know, I mean, the young kid, he's been running strong, and I think he won at Phoenix. So, you know, I think he's got to beat in the Xfinity Series right now.
Truck Series.
Truck Series, probably Christopher Bell still. You know, he's been in the strongest vehicle all year long, and that's, you know, I definitely think that it's his to lose, you know, so on Friday, I guess. I was about to say Saturday, but Friday.
Kyle Busch Motorsports, a lot of these guys have come up through there, and that's how they've got their start. How does he find this talent? Because he seems to keep hitting home runs. He's got another one. Noah Gragson's pretty good, so how does Kyle Busch find all these drivers?
Well, from one thing, he races with them a lot. You know, Kyle Busch still loves to get out and race a lot of late model races, and, you know, so that's where he, you know, has come up. And even Eric Jones, you know, that's where he, you know, found him racing against him. So, you know, that's how Kyle, I think, is able to, you know, see so much of the young talent. You know, he sees it firsthand with his own eyes.
Talking to Jeff Birchfield, who covers NASCAR for the Johnson City Press. Let's take a look at Dale Jr. stepping away, Matt Kenseth stepping away. NASCAR's got to do something to keep the fans coming back, and particularly those two fan bases. How do you do that?
Well, I think Chase Elliott, it would be really good to see him win a race, because I think he is a guy. I think clearly at Martinsville it was who the fans, you know, proved, you know, they will get behind him, you know, if he wins races. I think Bill Elliott was most popular driver all those years, you know, as well. But, yeah, NASCAR's had a lot of major stars they've had to replace when you think about it, with Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards and Matt Kenseth and Dale Jr. I should have that number figured up, but, I mean, I know it's probably close to, if not over, 200 wins, you know, between all those guys, and I can probably figure it up real quick. I'd say Gordon had 4 championships, Stewart 3, Kenseth 1, and, you know, yeah, so there's 8 championships, too, you know, you're talking about. Now, Carl didn't win one. He actually lost the closest championship race in history the one year. He and Tony Stewart, you know, tied in the points, but Tony had the tiebreaker.
We're talking to Jeff Birchfield again at the Johnson City Press. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A Crossings in North Johnson City. Tomorrow, Champion Chevrolet. Friday at Food City in the state of Franklin. On Food City Friday, right around the corner where we are in North Johnson City. So, Kurt Busch still not signed. Is that a formality, or is that the longer it lingers, it become more of a red flag?
I guess it becomes a little more of a red flag, although people I've talked to said that it is, you know, going to be, you know, they do expect him back with the Stewart-Haas team. I do know they did put out some feelers, and from what I understand, he did have some talks with Richard Childress Racing, but I think he will be back in that Stewart-Haas 41 next year.
What about this for a coup to not sign him and bring in Matt Kenseth and let him run there for a year or two? That'd be a big-time coup, wouldn't it?
It would, and that's probably one ride where Matt Kenseth would come back for. You know, that would be a ride pretty equivalent to what he's got at Joe Gibbs Racing. And, you know, one person we didn't mention doesn't have the record, but obviously a huge impact on the sport. I mean, this is probably Danica's, you know, farewell as well.
Doesn't look like she's going to be going anywhere next year as far as a new ride. So, Michael McDowell's out of a ride. Who else is it? See, Eric Camarola's back in. Michael McDowell's out. Danica Patrick's out. There's, of course, Kenseth. There's somebody else.
I guess since I was on the show last, Bubba Wallace signed also with Richard Petty Motorsports. So, you know, that was good to see as well.
And so Kane replaces Levine Racing, Michael McDowell, right?
Yeah, sure does.
Out. So I guess that's the only one that I'm thinking of that's still looking for a ride and probably won't get one in 2018. So if you had to go to Vegas and throw down some money, who would you bet on Sunday?
On Sunday, I would probably go with the guy from Vegas, Kyle Busch. You know, I think in a one-race shootout like that, he's going to be pretty hard to beat.
All right, switch gears. You did a big pull-out tab on high school basketball. What do you think right now in high school hoops?
Well, I did the Big 7 conference. I know Doug Fritz is working on one for the Three Rivers Conference, and then Tanner Cook is working on one for some of the smaller schools of Watauga Valley. But in the Big 7, Science Hill's favorite, but I think Dobbins Bennett's, you know, going to give them a pretty good challenge this year from what the coaches says. And Daniel Boone, Chris Brown's done a great job over there, you know, at the Daniel Boone boys, and they had a big win last night over Greenville, which, you know, I know Greenville's missing some of their players because they're still in football, but, you know, it still is a good way for Boone to start the season. And looks like going to be a pretty good league overall. Tennessee High is going to be pretty good, and Crockett from the eye test, looks like a pretty strong team. And I know they got the Hardee's Classic coming up down there next week as well.
Yep, we're going to be broadcasting that next Friday and Saturday night, the semis, the championship Saturday. So looking forward to being down there and broadcasting that tournament. It's going to be a good one. Also the Chick-Fil-A Classic. They've moved the date. It's going to be in 20th to the 22nd in Elizabeth. I talked to Eddie Pless yesterday. They've got Memphis Ridgeway coming to town for that tournament. So that team's loaded with a lot of college players, potential college players. So some good basketball. Of course, the Granddaddy of them all, the Arby's Classic, coming up between Christmas and New Year's. So a lot of hoops coming up. High school football, all of our local teams, with the exception of Greenville, kind of laid an egg and they're gone.
Yeah, with Johnson County, I had them last Friday night. I wouldn't exactly say they laid an egg. They were very competitive, in that game. And, they just had a couple breaks go against them and all. And then I had Science Hill the first week against Bradley Central. And I'm not one to normally complain about officiating, but they had probably about the worst officiated game you can imagine down there. They even had Jalen Adams recovers a fumble, hands and set to the officials, and somehow Bradley Central ended up with the ball, So.
I've heard that. And I watched them laying an egg. What I meant was
Oh, the goose egg, yeah.
Goose egg. They're not going any further, and I wanted them all to go further, and they're all going except Greenville. Greenville's got Anderson County coming up in the quarterfinals Friday night at Burley Stadium. So everybody else has shifted to winter sports, primarily basketball and swimming and wrestling. I guess that's your big winter sports here in Northeast Tennessee. So let's see, college football. What's your take on Butch Jones? What's going on down there? What do you think?
Well, I think it happened, be honest, about 4 weeks too late. They probably should have gotten rid of him after that Georgia game, in my opinion. But, I don't understand the process. I guess, I'm sure they're talking to a lot of people behind the scenes and stuff. I know there's a lot of rumors, like Mark D'Antonio, who's the Michigan State coach, was flown into Knoxville, was one of the rumors I heard. So I don't know. I don't know how true those rumors or even the groomers, as they call the John Gruden stuff are,
When you think, I keep going back to, I'm kind of tired of hearing about him, either step up and say, I want to take the job, I'm interested. Why the cat and mouse? Why would you, if you're John Gruden, somebody says, well, he's a competitor, he was a former coach, well, he's a competitor, why'd he get out of it to begin with? Why'd he go to the broadcast booth? So, if you're John Gruden, why don't you come out and say, yes, I'm interested, or no, take me off the list?
Well, I think he likes that attention, honestly, just to be honest with you, and all, but I think there's a lot of good candidates out there. I think everybody's got honed in so much on Gruden. Talk about Dan Mullen, the Mississippi State coach. If you can get him, he's been coaching the SEC, and the guy I'm probably highest on's not a head coach but a coordinator. But Brent Venables down in Clemson, you look what he's done. He is on the national championship staff under Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, and then of course everyone saw how Clemson actually was able to shut down Alabama at times, last year and beat them in the national championship game.
Well, Tennessee's in a hurry up and wait mode. They got to get the right coach, but they got to hurry up and get the right coach because recruiting season, the first signing date's in December, and plus all these other coaches are going to be getting recruited and courted by these other schools. Mullen, namely with Florida. Scott Frost going to go somewhere, I would think.
Yeah, and Scott Frost probably either Florida, where he coaches Central Florida, or Nebraska, which is a school where he actually played at. So, although Nebraska still has Mike Riley as coach right now, so that's the equation on that. Everyone's expecting him to get fired, but it's sort of like the deal with Butch Jones. They've not pulled the trigger on that.
All right, we'll throw out some names, see what you think of it. Be a good fit. Dan Mullen.
I think it'd be a good fit, definitely.
Justin Fuente.
Justin Fuente would, but I don't see him leaving Virginia Tech, honestly. Chip Kelly, I don't think he would fit very well in the SEC. I know when he runs an offense similar to what Butch Jones, runs, and I mean Tennessee hasn't performed very well in that offense with the personnel they have.
Lane Kiffin.
I think it would not be a good fit for Tennessee after the history.
Let me think here.
Mike Les Miles, I think, would be a good fit. And one thing I like about Les Miles, and we was talking to Mark D'Antonio from Michigan State, those guys run like an I formation. And I still don't, I personally, and I may be off base on this, but I feel like Quentin Dormady's not a bad quarterback if you have him in the right system, but I think you've got to have somebody back there. The reason I'd like a pro-style I formation is, you've got a fullback back there can help protect him, where he's not getting half killed on every play. Scott Frost would be a good fit, I think. Also, Mike Norville, from Memphis, I think he'd be a good fit. If you are going the route, and I know Tennessee's a little hesitant to go from the group of 5 coaches because of the last couple of hires they've had.
It's funny because it's interesting. Riley Ferguson, who left Tennessee, was on the staff. Was on the team rather. Left, transferred to Memphis. Of course, put them on the map. He's having a heck of a year. Grandfather is the pastor at Gunnings Baptist up here in Bluffville. I say it every day. But he's a great guy, Bob Ferguson. And Riley's his grandson, and he's really done a great job. And kind of look and go, gosh, how did you let this guy get away because he can throw the football?
Yeah, I think of that, and I also think with Nathan Peterman, who transferred to Pittsburgh, and I just saw where he was named the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills this weekend. How do you let those 2 guys escape, and all, but part of it, I think, is that offense. I thought they did Justin Worley a disservice, when he was quarterback at Tennessee trying to run that.
I want to do one more topic here before I let him go because I know he's hungry and I'm getting hungry now. I'm ready to go and eat something myself. Here's the Wall of Fame here in Johnson City, Parks and Rec Wall of Fame. Front page, got inductees grown to 4. Tell me about that.
Well, the inductees grown to 4 because Bill Francisco, who was one of the speakers yesterday and one of the inductees, he was talking about his son Jacob. It's been a story. I know a lot of people followed here locally. His son died from E. coli and all, and since then, Bill and his family have really put a lot of effort, into educating people and all, and just such an emotional speech. And they ended up unanimously voting to include Jacob, his son, in with him as far as part of this year's inductees, which goes out of the ordinary because the Wall of Fame normally just has 3 people instead of 4, and then the other 2 people were Mr. Lusk there, who's a longtime coach in Little League baseball around here, and then you also had Jeremy Stevens, and a lot of people from Science Hill and Daniel Boone both will remember Jeremy, just a vibrant personality and all, and a super nice young man.
Well put. What do you want to leave us with, my friend?
I guess this weekend, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good race. You've got 3 guys who've got a chance to win their second championship, and then Martin Truex Jr., who has been the dominant driver, like I said, for really not only this season but last season as well, got a shot of, winning his first championship. So it should be an exciting race for sure.
You hungry?
I'm hungry. I'm ready for some Chick-Fil-A.
I love this guy. Great job.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate you. If I don't see you between now and next week, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
Hey, same to you there.
I'm glad he's back. He was in Florida. Came back. Florida's loss is our game. We're glad to have this guy back. He's awesome. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-Fil-A. We'll break down some high school basketball and football for you next. Before we get out of here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, One call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Now available at Chick-Fil-A, the crossings of North Johnson City. The Hash Brown Scramble, the first breakfast bowl with Chick-Fil-A. The Hash Brown Scramble, a hearty breakfast option made with Chick-fil-A's signature tot-style hash browns, scrambled eggs, a Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese blend, and a choice of sliced Chick-fil-A nuggets or sausage. Served with jalapeno salsa, the scramble can be enjoyed in a bowl or as a burrito. The Hash Brown Scramble Bowl, 30 grams of protein when made with nuggets. The bowl and burrito start at $3.49. Served until 10:30 every morning, Monday through Saturday. The Hash Brown Scramble or burrito, again at Chick-fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, let's wrap this thing up. Let's run down for you again high school basketball last night. On the boys' side, Daniel Boone gets a big win over Greenville, 78-59. Central beats Unaka by 10, 56-46. Girls play, Daniel Boone over Greenville, beat them by 8, 64-56. Sullivan East ladies come from behind to beat Hampton, 48-44. Dobbins Minutes ladies beat the Hampton Lady Bulldogs by 21, 67-46, and Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars over Unaka, 65-61. In girls and boys high school basketball, Providence Academy losing 72-33 to the Asheville School. Again, that was from yesterday in boys high school basketball, and so not much going on today. Lots going on tomorrow. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow night. Will be some more basketball, of course, and so we'll do that tomorrow. Again, we'll be live at Champion Chevrolet. High school football in Virginia. Let's run them down for you. Coming up on Saturday, Friday night, Region D, Chohally and Hurley will battle in Virginia high school football. Patrick Henry and J.I. Burden. Union battles Marion. Graham out of Bluefield, Virginia takes on Grayson County. That's from our neck of the woods. Again, high school football in Southwest Virginia. In Tennessee, the team still standing out in Northeast Tennessee, the Greenville Green Devils at 12-0, hosting the Anderson County Mavericks at 12-0. That'll be. There's my man. Brian's in the house from the Bank of Tennessee. How you doing? You doing good? Yeah, you get a little lunch? Yeah. How's Miranda over there today? Good. Kelly there? Just went. Caitlin's there. Just went totally blank. My buddy Al, she's not there today, right? Back tomorrow. Good guy right there. Brian, one of the newest members of the Happy Bank, the Bank of Tennessee. Getting a little lunch. What are you going to get? Got you. Good job. Greenville Green Devils, 12-0, hosting Anderson County, 12-0. The only team still standing in Northeast Tennessee in high school football. So it's kind of a disappointing finish, really, to high school football. I thought more teams would be rolling along, but they're not. We're shifting to basketball. Pretty excited. We're going to be doing some Elizabethton Cyclone basketball starting in December. Very excited about that. Also, Hardy's Classic next week. We're going to be bringing you the semifinals next Friday and the championship and consolation next Saturday live from Crockett High School. Veteran coach and analyst who does a phenomenal job, Clark Powers, will be with me as I'll bring you the play-by-play next Friday and Saturday from the Hardy's Classic in Jonesboro. So we'll do that next week. And right now we're going to step aside and get ready for church night. It's Wednesday, and so we're going to wrap this show up saying thanks to Karen Hubbs from the Goose Chase and the Turkey Trot. Also, Jeremy Livesey with a surprise visit from Movement Mortgage, one of our great sponsors. Also, Steve McCauley from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And also want to say thanks to our buddy Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Brand new show tomorrow. Champion Chevrolet will be there broadcasting live. The number one Chevy dealer in the state. Nobody sells more Chevrolets from Memphis to Mountain City than Champion Chevrolet. We'll be there broadcasting live in the studio inside the showroom tomorrow from 11 to 1. Until then, for all the guests and all the folks here at Chick-fil-A, again, one more time, don't forget, they're selling like hotcakes. Don't procrastinate. They'll be gone. The steers of yesteryear, the 2018 Cow Calendar, the 20th anniversary edition of Chick-fil-A. Got them on sale for $8 right now, and there's a limited quantity, so don't wait. Folks came in here, this guy came in, want to go and buy 10, so they're flying out of here, and once they're gone, they're gone. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours until we greet you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock. From Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. And thanks for joining us on show number 635 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.